160 pounds. Hailing from Melbourne, Australia, he brings a professional record of 44 wins, 11 defeats, with 18 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the reigning and defending IBF middleweight champion of the world, Sam King Soliman.
Both of these athletes certainly have plenty of in-ring experience, considering Soliman's 40 and Jermain Taylor is 36. 17 years fighting for the Aussie. Jermain Taylor turning pro 13 years ago. A lot of fights, a lot of rounds, and a lot of championship rounds, Teddy.
Yeah, for Soliman, no power, but very busy and awkward. And I say awkward with a capital awkward. He punches from all angles. That was a little awkward, by the way. Punches from all angles. He's durable, and even though he doesn't have power.
To the rules in the back. Scheduled for 12 rounds for the IBF middleweight championship of the world. I want to re-emphasize: protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands. Touch gloves now. Good luck and God bless.
You know, even though Soliman doesn't have power per se, he scored a lot of knockdowns. You know why, Todd? Because he hits you when you don't expect it. Because again, the awkwardness, the punches from unexpected angles. Right now, Taylor looks a little dry to me, and Soliman looks maybe
a little happy.
No, but happy, but maybe a little bit more warmed up than Taylor. When you're cold, sometimes things can happen to you early in a fight. When you're cold, you haven't warmed up properly. I'm not sure, but Taylor does have that dry look. And another thing Taylor's got to deal with, besides Soliman, an awkward guy, he has to deal with inactivity, lots of it. And that rust can hurt you early on. Matter of fact, 10 months since Taylor last was in the ring. Before that, before his last fight, he was off 1 year and 2 months. And of course, we talked about it. 3 fights before that, he was off 2 years and 2 months. So for me, if I'm in the corner of Soliman, I want a quick start. Take advantage of that rust that Taylor might be suffering from.
And according to CompuBox, Jermain Taylor lands twice as many jabs per round than the average middleweight. So that will be his bread and butter here tonight, or so it would seem.
I'm going to tell you something that might be shocking to you. Taylor's a better fighter than Soliman. I mean, he throws straight punches. You know, he's a former Olympian. He won a bronze medal. He's a former world champion. And he does things the right way, the textbook way. But Soliman is a persistent, resilient, busy guy that keeps going all night long. He's like the Energizer Bunny, but an Energizer Bunny that, you know, might move a little crooked every once in a while. You know, he moves a little bit left, a little bit right. He'll come in, he'll go out, he'll drop his hands, he'll look at you, but he's got energy to last.
Soliman asked the question, what's Taylor going to do when I throw 100 punches at him per round?
See, my real question is, what is Taylor going to do if he ever gets hit by one of those 1,000 punches? See, what I worry about with Taylor, with the brain bleed in his past, is durability. That's what can be compromised. If he's not right, he won't be durable. And that would be my question. Soliman, at 40, has proven one thing. Again, not as good a fighter as Taylor.
Please,
very durable, very tough, and very busy.
Well, Taylor has been knocked down once in his return fights. That was against Caleb Truax right here in Biloxi. And Taylor said, listen, when he knocked me down, I thought for a second, wait a minute, am I okay? Considering his medical history. He said since then, he knows he can take a punch. He knows he can come back from a punch. He says he's 100% mentally ready for this title shot.
Well, you better be ready for an awkward night, an ugly night, a sloppy night, because that's what Soliman brings with him. He rushes in, as we talked about in the fight plan. He grabs, he lets go. He moves one way, moves the other way. He's all over the place.
Soliman not throwing as many punches as we're accustomed to in round one. Does that mean that Taylor will get the judges to believe in round one? Stand right where we want it.
For me, if I'm fighting Soliman, I let him do some of my work for me. What I mean by that is I let him move like I showed in the fight plan. Let him move around, control him, stabilize him with the jab. I think the jab is very important for Taylor. He's got a good, straight, accurate jab. Jab to the chest. If you have to, Soliman, just stabilize him a little bit in front of you, and then let him make mistakes. When he rushes to you, be ready to pull the. Let that punch go. Pull the trigger. Let that punch go when he starts to come in and fall in. Because when he falls in, there is space. And if there's space, oh, you can land something.
Coverage of men's soccer continues on ESPN. Friday, October 10th at 6:40. Landon Donovan takes the field for the last time as a member of the U.S. national team. It's a friendly against Ecuador, presented by EA FIFA 15. You can see it on ESPN.
See, what Soliman does, he comes in, he's like an octopus. He grabs you, and then he lets go, and then he punches. You relax a little bit. You say, oh, he's grabbing me, I'll wait for the ref. Then all of a sudden he lets go of you before the ref gets there, and then he starts flailing away and catch you by surprise a little bit.
No. A lot of people, as we mentioned earlier, don't think Jermain Taylor should have been medically cleared to fight again. He went through extensive testing at the Mayo Clinic in Cleveland and was given a license by the Nevada State Boxing Commission, one of the toughest in the country. And Teddy, I was thinking back to the mid-'90s when they found a hole in Evander Holyfield's heart. Many people said he should never fight again. He should be done. And yet he fought another 15 years, winning a couple of heavyweight titles in the process.
Yeah, but it wasn't a hole in the brain. And you're not throwing punches at the heart. You're throwing punches at the head. And that's where my concern is. But my wishes are also that Taylor is fine, and we will never have to worry about that subject again.
Todd Grisham, Teddy Atlas here ringside. This is for the IBF Middleweight Championship of the World. Sam Soliman out of Australia is the reigning champion. Jermain Taylor, the challenger.
And again, you don't want to chase. I don't think you want to be too aggressive with Soliman, because then you get in trouble. You get into a mess of trouble. Because he doesn't know what he's doing. You sure as hell don't know what you're doing if you start chasing him. So what you want to do is just control him. Stabilize him with the jab a little bit. Don't reach in like that. You don't want to do that. You don't want to get into his world. You want to just keep a little control on the outside. And again, allow Soliman to do some of your work for you. Let him fall into something. Don't do that. I think that's wrong, chasing him and being aggressive in that sort of way. Again, control him with the jab and let Soliman come to you. And you have a much better shot of not only landing something, but maybe not getting mixed up in a fight that could frustrate you.
This unorthodox, perplexing veteran style that Sam Soliman provides. Round 3 of the scheduled 12. First couple rounds have not had anything too dramatic. Tough to score those rounds. A lot of clinching, holding, punching. This fight could be taking place in the telephone booth right now.
No, the telephone booth would be tipping over if it took place, because Soliman doesn't stand still. And again, there's a good right hand. That's what I talked about in the fight plan. Right hand for Soliman, but one thing I disagree, and I think Pat Burns is a no-nonsense guy who has right now resurrected Taylor's career, but I don't think he should be aggressive. Again, you don't want to get in the soup with a guy like this, and you're going to get in the soup real quick when you start chasing and being too aggressive with a guy like Soliman. For me, you want him to make mistakes. Control him again, I'll say it again, with that jab. Taylor has a good jab. He's not using it enough. Control him with that jab to the chest a little bit, and then just be ready when Soliman, and inevitably he will come at you. Be ready right there. Be ready to punch. Don't chase him.
Work on it, fellas. Come on.
Our referee, Bill Clancy, has his hands full in this one. It keeps going this way. A lot of clutching, holding, punching while holding.
So far, only one clean punch really landed all night. One night, but the right hand this round. But Soliman's really the only clean punch I've seen landed.
We might see a clash of heads as well as Soliman comes raging in like a bull.
Well, no doubt about that. I'd be shocked if he didn't. Taylor's been involved in several head crashes. Matter of fact, he's been cut many times. He has scar tissue over his left eye. And Soliman, as you just said, been involved with plenty of head crashes in his career. So, be no shock if they bang nuggets together.
Soliman, a former world kickboxing champ as well. He's been fighting as long as he can remember.
See, that's the closest I saw a moment ago of Taylor having the right idea. Looked and countered with the left hand, and Soliman rushed in. Again, Soliman, he's going to rush in. That's when you're going to punch. The only thing right now, Taylor should be using that again, using that jab, just to control the outside a little bit, but don't get too close with the jab. If you jab from too close, which Taylor sometimes does, and you tilt a little bit, well, that right hand of Soliman can get in. Getting in there quickly, and I talked about Taylor, got to be ready to counter. Just missed with the left hook, and Soliman jumped in. Taylor's got to be a little quicker, a little bit more ready to pull that trigger.
And you can see Sam Soliman smiling, laughing, having a joke with his friends over there in the corner. He loves to fight, said he'd do it for free, but don't tell the promoters.
You just did.
Now they're watching the fight live. They're not watching on TV.
Good point. Hopefully they don't watch the replay. Otherwise, the cat's out of the bag.
Soliman began his professional record 12-7 through his first 19 fights. Looks like he's just going to be a club brawler, but he's been on fire since. 32-4, and is now the IBF middleweight champion of the world.
You know, I'll tell you a funny thing. The entire career of Soliman, he could not win at the next level, B+, A level. He lost. But now he holds a world title, right place, right time, and perseverance. At 40, he got the right opportunity after having lost twice prior in world title tries when he was younger.
There's that scrappy attitude from Soliman, trying to pull away and throw punches on the break. Taylor with an extensive amateur background, a medalist.
Here's a jab for Taylor. He's not using it enough. He used it a moment ago. It was effective. And again, you got to be ready for that rush, Todd, when Soliman comes at you. And the best way to be ready is slow him down, stabilize him a little bit with that pole, with that stick, as Muhammad Ali would say. Just don't jab from too close.
No, clean. Nice and clean, fellas.
Clean. He's not dirty, Soliman, but he's not clean as far as watching an aesthetically pleasing fight. This is what you get when you get Soliman.
Soliman's corner told him to keep frustrating Jermain Taylor, and Jermain Taylor's trainer just yelled, "Don't get frustrated, Jermain."
Yeah, but show him how not to get frustrated. Words are words. Examples are better. Use that jab to the chest, slow him down a little bit, keep him where you want to keep him a little bit. Less chance of getting frustrated then. And don't chase him. If you chase him, you will get frustrated. See, that's what you got to be ready to do. Again, Taylor looked for that left hook just a little late as Soliman rushed in. Two ways to catch Soliman. One is when he's coming at you, and the other is when he backs out. When he goes out, you can nail him on the way out. Or, as they like to say, catch him coming or catch him going.
Make sure you score tonight's fight on the Friday Night Fights Facebook page. We'll show you our scores when our ESPN Boxing Special returns.
I talked about one of the things about Soliman here, hold inside, let go, and then punch. Well, Taylor knows all about that now. He should have known about it before he got in the ring. Hopefully he did. Again, Soliman grabbed onto him on the inside, Todd, then all of a sudden, let's go. And guess what? He hit you with an uppercut. That's Sam Soliman. That is the kind of fight he brings with him.
So 4 rounds down. We're in the 5th of 12 right now. Let's look at Teddy Atlas's scorecard, and he has it First round a draw, and the next 3 going to the Australian, 40-37. For those of you scoring on our Friday Night Fights Facebook page, you have it 2 rounds apiece. The first 2 to Taylor, the last 2 to Soliman.
You know, it's a funny connection, and not an accident, probably. You know, Soliman won a title at 40.
Nice jab.
Because he's been relentless with his pursuit of it, never giving in, and his style, well, it's the same thing. Not fancy, but it never stops coming at you. Just resilient and relentless. You know, sometimes you win the title with pure talent. But for those young fighters out there, sometimes you win a title because you never give up. And Soliman never gave up.
Soliman said, listen, Taylor has a reach advantage, a height advantage. He's younger, he's probably stronger, and might even be quicker. But I am more active, I am more resilient, and I will not die. There's the next combination. Soliman finishes it off with the right hand.
So Soliman has the pace to Temple going his way now. You know, he's got Taylor off balance. Taylor coming out of his countering, then Taylor waits, then he gets off first. You know, he's got Taylor not knowing which way is up and which way is down right now. Taylor pulls out of position. Again, there's the grab, and then he lets go, Soliman, and flares away at you with the right hand.
Step out on break. Step out.
When they get locked up inside and Taylor knows the punch is coming on the break, should Taylor be throwing one himself or just playing defense?
Lock him up where you really lock him up. The term lock him up means you shouldn't have your hands free. Lock him up where you can't get off. And then walk him to the referee face you. But don't let him get off. Or work inside. And if I was Taylor, I'd be working to the body because with all that frenetic energy of Soliman, all that herky-jerky movement, the one thing that is a little stable that's there for you is the body. You know what Soliman reminds me of? When you were a kid, you ever do a science project in school?
Yes.
You went to school?
My mom is a biology instructor.
Oh, then this is right up your alley, kid. Remember when you had to bring in that liquid metal mercury? And remember you put it down on the table and you dropped it and splat! It went in all kinds of different directions. It went all over the place. That's Sam Soliman. He's mercury.
I think you might have mercury poisoning.
No, I'm okay.
So Taylor was certainly more active in this round, but I don't know if it helped him out too much. Things are heating up here in Biloxi. Left hand from Taylor, and the crowd roars its approval. So this is for the IBF middleweight championship, but this is boxing. There's a lot of middleweight champions, right? Gennady Golovkin's a champion. Peter Quillin was a champion. He's number 2 in the world, and he's standing by now with Bernardo Osuna.
Thank you, Todd. Peter, everyone wants to know, why did you give up your WBO middleweight title?
No disrespect. It wasn't just part of the plans. No disrespect to Matt Kovarov. You know, I was just targeting bigger names, man, and I think I deserve that. But given the hard, endless, rounds in the gym there, I want the bigger names, and that's who I'm targeting. And now it's about staying focused now.
I know that you're a boxing fan. I've seen you at the StubHub Center where Golovkin fights next week, but this is neither near LA where you train or Brooklyn where you live. Are you targeting the guys in the ring tonight?
No, I'm just actually just coming to be a spectator, a fan of boxing. You know, these guys, of course, in my weight class, but I'm a fan overall. I just met Sam Soliman today. It was like a blessing to meet him, so I'm just here as a fan today.
Your observations so far?
Yeah, man. It's a pretty tough fight to score right now. Both guys are looking game, and they're coming in to win, but, we'll see soon.
Todd, Teddy, the actions are back in the ring.
Round 6 of 12. We're almost at the midway point, Teddy. What have you seen from Taylor that you like and what you don't like?
Well, I mean, he hasn't fallen apart mentally. He's a former champion. He had plenty of amateur fights, 145 to somewhere around there. Won a bronze medal, so you wouldn't expect him to fall apart. That's the most important thing. He didn't get frustrated to a high level yet. That's the good news. The bad news is his fight plan is really not showing you that he needs to do or needs to understand what he has to do with this mercury, as I described him before.
Balance goes Soliman. I'm not sure how fresh that punch was, but all of a sudden Soliman goes down on his knees.
No, Yeah, he didn't get hit. I think that was more probably an elbow to the shoulder, something like that. I mean, with that herky-jerky motion, it's hard to catch him real clean. He's always taking something off that. But again, Taylor looking for his big punch, the right hand. For me, the one thing that I think I'm a little disappointed with Taylor is he's not using that jab enough. Again, even to the chest of Soliman, just to try to stabilize somebody who's not stable. A little bit, like that. And then you have a shot to land what you're looking to land, the Sunday punch. Really, the punch that gives you confidence, the right hand.
The best round so far for Taylor by a mile. Let's see if he can finish it out with a minute 15 to go.
And again, what he needs to remember, and Pat Burns needs to remind him, is the best round, it started with the jab. From the right distance, stabilize him a little bit, setting the target in your sights, and then, of course, having a chance to land the right hand.
A lot of fighters will say the first couple rounds, they just want to find their timing, want to find their distance. You feel like Taylor's finally found it here in round 6.
Well, what I really feel is maybe some of the rust that we talked about with Taylor. He's been so inactive. Maybe some of that rust is going south.
Time in.
And maybe he's starting to understand, once again, you can't chase this man. You use the jab and then the right hand. Set the table with the jab. And then try to eat, even if it's small portions, with the right hand.
Taylor landing some power punches and some jabs in round 6. And again, Soliman jumps off his feet. Looks at a headlock.
Remember, Soliman only knocked out one time in 56 fights. Taylor knocked out 3 times in 37 fights. So I guess you could say that Soliman has the better chin. But in all fairness, you could also say Taylor has been in his career with much better fighters and bigger punches. Here's the mystery punch. We weren't sure if it landed by Taylor. And there's the end of the mystery. An elbow to the shoulder, no right hand, as you said. Todd Soliman falling out. Here's a right hand after the jab, more like a karate chop. Taylor was a little closer than I thought he should be, and he kind of chopped down on Soliman. I guess you got to do it any way you can with a guy like Soliman, even if you got to go Karate Kid on him once in a while.
The kitchen sink will do just nicely. So here we are, 6 rounds behind us, 6 rounds to go for the IBF middleweight championship of the world. Teddy's scorecard through 6 is as follows. 59-56 for Sam Soliman. The first round he scored it a draw. For those of you scoring on our Friday Night Fights Facebook page, 4 rounds to 2. They like the fighter out of Arkansas, Ted.
Yeah, I don't know if it's an American thing, you know, if it's a little bit of bias because you're cheering for a guy in the U.S., or if it's just, and I can understand this even more, if it's just that you're looking at a guy who looks better, you know, who looks better doing it, who stands up obviously in a more conventional way. That would be Taylor, and he doesn't look as sloppy, so you're giving him rounds again because he looks better. But for me in this sport, it's not about looking better all the time. It's about getting the job done. It's about being effective and landing more punches and controlling the tempo, the flow. And I thought for the most part, Soliman has done that. He's looked up, he's doing it, but he's done it. You're not supposed to, it's not a beauty contest. You know, you're not supposed to get points to looking pretty.
Well, if it was an ugly contest, Soliman would win. So Soliman goes down. Round 6 was good for Taylor. Round 7 even better. We have our first knockdown here, and the pendulum has officially changed. William, I tell you what, Soliman either has a leg injury or has completely lost his balance. Soliman has a 1-2, and Soliman back again, and now Soliman's throwing punches again.
Listen, don't count out Soliman. He's been on the floor before in case you were wondering. And in case you were wondering again, he's come off the floor before to win. When you're 40 years old and you win your title at this age, you have overcome many things to get there. This is just another one of those things that Soliman, in his mind, is capable of overcoming.
Soliman has been knocked down by 4 different fighters. He's come back to win 3 of those 4 fights. Felix Sturm, Enrique Ornelas, and Nader Hamdan.
And again, when Taylor doesn't chase, doesn't get over aggressive, and that's what he's doing better. He's laying back, he's using that jab to set up the right hand. He's got a much better chance of being effective with this guy who's all over the place.
Again, Soliman rocked with an uppercut. He now touched the canvas with his glove with the bell raised. For Jermain, bad intentions Taylor.
And again, you can catch Soliman as he's pulling out, or as he's coming in.
What do you want? I'm not in your house.
The smile is gone, and understandably so.
Okay?
It's starting to look a little closer to 40.
One more round. I want you.
Let's take a look at the knockdown, Teddy.
The jab. Again, it was the jab. Talking about the importance of Taylor's jab. You land that jab clean, you can affect the fighter. The jab lands, and down goes Soliman. Again, the punch of choice, I think, or should be the punch of choice for the most part tonight for Taylor. Those other punches you can see missing. Nothing landing there. As Soliman, again, acts like that slippery heel and gets away from those shots.
Well, we get to see the slow motion replay. The judges do not. And the way that Solomon's backing up and flailing around, it looks like those punches are landing clean.
Very good point. Point well taken. And a point maybe to the Facebook cards. Maybe the fans at home, again, watching it on TV, seeing it the same way. Seeing punches that aren't really landed, and maybe they think they're landing because Soliman suggests that they land because of his body language being off kilter. Or off kilter. But when you're dealing with a guy like Soliman, tilter, kilter, you know,
Helter Skelter.
Helter Skelter, whatever, it's off. I think you get the point.
So a great couple rounds for Jermain Taylor. It looked like Soliman was winning or starting to impose his will, but then Taylor found an answer in round 6 and put Soliman down in round 7.
And again, some of the rush now out of the way for Taylor, getting into his own rhythm, and once again not chasing like he did early on.
We told you the United States soccer team will be playing on Friday. The Mexican national team will be playing on Thursday.
Catches coming in. Taylor catches him going out. And the legs don't look good. Looks like he injured his leg, Soliman, the way he's walking. He's limping now, Soliman.
You would have to break his leg and throw it in the audience for Soliman to quit in a world title fight.
Yeah, but his legs are important for his elusiveness. That elusiveness is gone. Soliman is not Soliman. See, that's the key. I called him a slippery heel before. You can't be a slippery heel when you have no legs. You have no wheels.
It appears to be the right leg or perhaps ankle of Sam Soliman. His plant foot.
If he can't be awkward, and you can't be awkward without legs. If he can't be awkward, well, Solomon's in trouble. Because you both pointed out earlier, and we pointed out earlier, he doesn't have the speed, he doesn't have the power, he doesn't have the ability. He has the awkwardness and the determination. That awkwardness might be gone now.
It may be code red time for Soliman. He may just have to stand there and just start throwing big punches and hope something lands because he can barely stand right now. Is Jermain Taylor about to become the IBF middleweight champion of the world? They've written him off, Teddy. Said he shouldn't be fighting again. Retired. But here he is, and he's got Sam Soliman in all kinds of trouble.
We don't know if it's a knee or an ankle, but we assume something in the leg area is hurt with Soliman.
right hands. Are you hitting with an uppercut and you're hurting? I want to see under, over. If you can't walk, bring him on you and hit him 3 times. If you can't walk, bring him on you 3 times. Okay. 3 punches, okay? You got it. This is it, mate. After this round, we're stopping him. And if I see you hurt,
look at the knockdown here. Look like the right hand. The first one missed, and then again pulling out straight, and without the good wheels, the right hand lands. Watch it. Pulling out straight, maybe you could say falling out straight.
Knock it down, let's go!
Right hand lands. You know what? I don't know that it was the right hand that actually put him down or the leg caving in. Either way, it's a knockdown.
We saw what happened to Sergio Martinez when his legs went away against Miguel Cotto. He basically didn't have a prayer. Soliman's beginning to look the same way right now in round number 9.
Yeah, Soliman has a lot of dimensions to him. Left, right, middle, outside, sideways, everywhere. That's his strength. Right now you can say he's one-dimensional. All those dimensions without his legs are taken away from him. And he's right in front of you. And when he's right in front of you, again, he's not the fastest, he's not the strongest, he's not the most gifted. He's resilient, but he's very vulnerable. And right now, Taylor's starting to have his way.
I heard Soliman's corner say, listen, we're going to give you one more round and see what happens here. Here's the scorecards according to Teddy Atlas. You have to count all those knockdowns. You have it 76-75 after back-to-back 10-8 rounds. And our Friday Night Fights Facebook page results 6 rounds to 2. The last 4 rounds you've given to Jermain Taylor.
Hey, you take the hair away from Samson, he ain't Samson. We learned that. We're learning right now, you take the legs away from Soliman, he's not Soliman.
Soliman simply cannot stand up like that. His corner's thinking of throwing in the towel. Soliman pleads his case and says, let me go. He wants to go out on his shield tonight. And Taylor now with target practice. Jermain Taylor, perhaps just 1 or 2 more punches away from being a champion again.
He's right in front of you. See, that's not what I would do about Taylor. You're giving him time now. You're not chasing him. He's right in front of you. He's not going anywhere anymore. Just a little bit of a jab, and then with full extension of right hand.
Now they're going to call the doctor over to take a look at Solomon's left leg.
What's thinking here?
Come here.
Hey, one voice.
All right, I'm going to let him continue.
JT.
But I'm telling you right now, you're running the risk of getting stopped.
He might not be a champion anymore
Over here.
after tonight, but he knows how to behave like one.
Boxing sometimes isn't fair, Teddy. It can be cruel sometimes, and Sam Solomon's left leg simply has not cooperated in one of the biggest fights of his life.
He's never the most talented guy. He said that, he documented that, I think, very well. But he's always this, a gritty son of a gun that doesn't give up.
And suddenly those clinches and tests of strength, which Soliman so welcomed early in the fight, have now become the bane of his existence. He simply cannot win these bouts.
If I'm Taylor, I just start the left hand. I don't even throw it. I just started, there's a short hook in front of him. I just start the jab and then let the right hand go. It's supposed to be time, but the clock is still going.
Soliman wants to go in survival mode, but he simply can't go in survival mode, or he loses tape.
Yeah, give me the glove. Put that on his head. You are the real Rocky, yeah? Okay. Give him some water. Water.
How's your leg?
Well done. It's fine, mate.
How's your leg?
Good.
I need the tape. They want the tape fixed.
Gotta get the tape fixed.
Getting concerned. I'm really getting concerned. Okay.
Fine, mate. I'm fine. You don't know him. Okay, Sam, but from now you just got to stay there.
Take a look at the action. The leg goes. Taylor chases him with a right hand. You can see the right hand does not land.
Something underneath. Do not let him tie you up. You understand me?
Counter goes a knockdown, but the commissioner said
very close fight,
no
buddy.
knockdown that round. As you can see, the right hand missed, but you could also see the legs gone.
The heart is willing, the left leg is not. That is the internal struggle that Sam Soliman is fighting right now on top of Jermain Taylor. The right hand connects. And Soliman, who doesn't have his balance, somehow maintained it there. 3 rounds to go, and a nice right hand from Soliman. Those have been few and far between the last few rounds.
I misspoke. I had the wrong information. The last round was scored a knockdown. We were told the commission said it wasn't, but the referee scored it a knockdown. We saw that the punch didn't land. It really shouldn't have been a legitimate knockdown, but you know what? At this point, I don't know that it matters because you basically have a one-legged Soliman in that ring.
2007, Soliman had a partial ligament tear in his right knee.
Let him go, Jermain. Let him go.
That was against Anthony Hundeen. So Soliman has battled knee troubles before.
He's battled everything before. That's why he's here. And you can see it. God didn't give a lot of natural ability, but somebody gave him great fortitude, great determination, great heart, and the ability to behave like a fighter, even when it's difficult to do so.
He's fighting back with all he's got. The former longshoreman who used to work 12-hour shifts 6 days a week, 60 hours a week, said that was easy. Or boxing's easy. That was hard.
No, let him up.
That's why I have so much joy, so much fun in the ring. But tonight it's not fun at all as his leg is just giving way.
No.
I'm telling you, what do you tell a one-legged fighter? It sounds like the beginning of a joke.
I don't think you have to tell him to say anything. There's one thing that he's probably known since birth. You go in there and you keep trying till you can't try anymore. I mean, this is a guy who's thrown. Soliman was thrown into a 12-round fight in his second pro fight, and he lost 2 of his first 4 fights, all 12-rounders. So he was never treated easily. He was never treated with kid gloves, but he always found a way. He's trying to find that now. 1 leg and all.
Soliman showing that he certainly has the heart of a champion, but it's unlikely that he keeps his championship title unless something dramatic happens. Mecca. You want sauteed shrimp, fried shrimp, shrimp gumbo, shrimp po' boy, they got it here. Round 11 of 12 for the IBF Middleweight Championship. Sam Soliman, the reigning title holder, fighting on 1 leg. Some severe knee damage of some sort. Jermain Taylor has taken full advantage of that, dropping Soliman several times. He's out to a huge points lead, and it appears right now that the Aussie needs a knockout if he hopes to retain his title.
Life is strange. Things happen. We came into this fight. A lot of people came into it. I know I was one of them, concerned about the previous brain injury of Taylor. Never knowing that before the night was over, we'd be more concerned about the leg injury of Soliman.
If you're Taylor's corner, are you telling him to be aggressive, or are you saying just don't get in Solomon's range now? Get us home to a title.
Control range. Glad you used that word. It's all about control range. Soliman has to, I've said this in the past, has to go through a bad neighborhood to get to you. And he's got to do it limp. He's got to do it injured. He's got to come to you, in other words. Mug him when he comes through that bad neighborhood. You see a guy walking up the street limping? Usually I'd say leave him alone. Let's be nice people over here. But right now, get him. Pretty amazing that Taylor, maybe it does speak to him being 36 and all that inactivity, whatever you want to say, but it's kind of amazing that right now, with Soliman in the condition physically he's in, Solomon's taking a fight to him. But Soliman is still there. But Solomon's not gone. That needs to be said. That's pretty amazing. And that Soliman actually is probably winning this round.
Can you imagine if somehow Soliman found a way to put Taylor on his backside? That would certainly shore the cards up. There have been so many slips and knockdowns, I don't know how many of them are official.
See, actually, Taylor's helping Soliman. Soliman actually needs something to hold him up. And when Taylor falls in, guess what? He becomes that crutch. He becomes that cane to hold him up. That time there was a little space, and Soliman goes down. And that's what I'm talking about. Space for Taylor is bad for Soliman.
So an official knockdown recorded there for Taylor. And now it truly is the most desperate of desperate situations for Sam Soliman. He has to have a knockout.
You got last 3 minutes. You never give up. You never ever give up, mate. That's who you are.
Last round, mate. Touch him up. Good luck. Keep it clean.
You're going to knock him out now. Hey, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Here's that knockdown right there at the bell, Teddy.
Take another look at it. Left hand, not a big punch, but again, the straight left there. Again, I'm going to guess that it wasn't really the impact of the punch.
Weak hook right there.
The punch of the punch and the condition of the leg of Soliman.
You had to score a knockdown, do you not?
Really is what led to that knockdown. And yes, a punch lands, you go down. Yes, sir. It scored a knockdown.
That's what Soliman needs here. Let's look at Teddy Atlas.
No. Right. Nice and clean. All right.
I was going to say we're going to take a look at your scorecard, Teddy. We will in a second, I'm being told. But it will obviously have Taylor in a commanding position here. 2:35 to go for Soliman.
You know, Taylor had said that he lost track of what was important when he had a title. That he was partying with all his friends. And now, he couldn't tell you where those friends were. They're all gone. He said it's just me and Pat, his trainer. That's a lesson for all young fighters out there. I would say to Taylor, remember that lesson. If the friends come back, tell them you ain't home. Stay with the people who were with you when you were down. Now that it looks like you're going to be up again.
Sam Soliman has traveled the world to fight, showed up in Boston with just a suitcase full of clothes, no promoter, no manager, would fight anybody, anywhere, did the same thing in London. He won his title, and now
his leg collapsed on him, but Taylor, before that, Soliman landed a couple good punches because Taylor gave him the opportunity by falling in. Gave him a chance, and again, Soliman, we said it from the beginning, not a big puncher. But he did land some shots before his leg gave out. And again, for me, Taylor longer, taller, you're way ahead. Use that longer, taller, stay outside. Don't keep falling in and giving Soliman the one shot, the one chance to pull off a miracle by being too close to him.
a minute to go.
That tape has never been straightened out. For the last 5 or 6 rounds, that tape has been flying all over the place, and nobody, starting with the ref, has ever cleaned it up.
It's been that kind of fight. Scrappy, ugly, and unfortunate for Sam Soliman, whose leg is completely given out on it.
But his heart hasn't.
My time. My time. No knockdown.
Jermain Taylor's corner is just saying, move, move, move. Don't get hit, they're telling him. 20 seconds. Come on, Sam.
The best way not to get hit is don't fall in closer to the guy that needs you to be close to hit you.
Another slip, or at least that's what it was called. A jab lands from Taylor. Sam Soliman may have lost this fight, but he's won legions of fans around the globe with that courageous performance. Jermain Taylor may well be your new IBF middleweight champion. We'll find out as the official decision. That's when it went downhill in a hurry. Those of you scoring on our Friday night Facebook page, 9 rounds to 3 for the man from Arkansas.
You know, we gave credit, rightfully so, to Soliman winning a title at 40, showing this kind of heart and guts, and hanging in there tonight. But I'm proud of you. Let's give credit. All those layoffs, well, a lot of people didn't think he should be fighting, including myself. He gets a good opportunity with a 40-year-old, and he makes the most of it.
All right, let's hear the official decision. Do we have a new champion? Here's Thomas Tribe.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Freddie Steinwinder III scores it 116 to 111. Judge Alfredo Polanco scores it 115 to 109. And Judge David Taranto scores it 116 to 109. All in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. And new IBF middleweight champion of the world, Jermain Bad Intentions Taylor.
Many people said he shouldn't be in this fight at all for a couple reasons, Teddy, but he was in it and he won it. What do you say now?
I say he took the advantage of a great opportunity. You get a chance, as I said in the opening, you know, there's an antique car show going on in this town. I've been watching them go up and down the street all day long. And you got an old car, you got a couple old cars, and one of them's 40 years old, you're 36. Even if you came off an injury, what do? You gas up and you say, I'm going to go and I'm going to win that race. And that's exactly what Taylor did. He had an opportunity, he made the most of it.
Let's send it now into the ring where Bernardo Osuna is attempting to talk to the new champion.
Thank you very much, Todd. Jermain, many people thought you shouldn't even be fighting for a world title tonight. What does it feel to hear those words, and new world champion?
I heard it before, now I'm hearing it again. You know, I just thank God. I thank Al Heyman. Thank you, Al Heyman. We did it, baby. Coming home with the belt. Who's next?
What's up, Jermain?
Now, you know that he injured his knee in the 7th round. What does it say about the man that was in front of you for him to continue despite the injury and finish on his feet?
He's a warrior. He did the same thing I would have did. I would have kept fighting. You got to keep fighting today in this sport right here. You got to keep going. And he did exactly what I would do.
Hassan Endam won his opportunity to be the mandatory for the IBF last week against Curtis Stevens. Peter Quillen's in the crowd. Who do you want next as a new champion?
Whoever Al Heyman put in there. Whoever Al Heyman say fight, that's what I'm going for. I don't care. I've never dodged anybody in my whole career.
That is true. So Jermain Taylor has his eyes set on either Hassan Endam or Peter Quillen. I'm going to go try to talk now to the man who finished on his feet. Let's see if we can get a word in with Sam Soliman. Sam, not many people would have done what you did after that 7th round. Talk to me about what happened with your knee.
I did a little bit in training and I had a really good physio. He really made it go on. I nearly had to pull out of the fight, but absolutely no excuses, because if he wasn't as good a fighter as he was, former undisputed world champion, I would have been able to come home with the goods. But his performance, you can't take that away from him. The knee was fresh and fine when I was fighting, so it wasn't an old injury that came back because of bad luck. It was because of his good performance by Jermain.
Now, you recovered once in 2007 from a medial collateral knee injury against Anthony Mundine. Now, you're over 40. Was this it, or do you see yourself fighting again?
No, I'm not going to take up table tennis just yet. That's my next sport. But, I mean, I kept going for three reasons. One, my son Samir and Victoria, my goddaughter, it was their birthday. I missed their birthday being here to do what I love to do and to perform for these fans and my fans, family and friends and sponsors who've looked after me. And so happy birthday to them, to my son and my goddaughter, Victoria. And also the Legacy of Hope, Nelson Mandela Foundation. They gave me so much strength when I went to the Children's Hospital and saw what they go through. It makes this job easy looking at what they do. And I look forward to doing some work with them, guys. I know you're watching. Love you guys, and I promise you when I come back, I'll come back stronger.
Takes a real man to do what Sam Soliman did tonight. Teddy, Todd, back to you.
You look at a champion, you look at what's inside them, what comes out of them.